Hello, crafty friends. It's Elisa from Paisley Papyrus. This is our card that we're making today. It is one of another one in our super fast series. As I've told you in the past, I like to cut one of each of my designer series papers down to 4 by 5 1/4 and keep them in this bag so I can just pop one out and start creating anytime I'm kind of in a funk or whatever. I can just start with something and that gets my mojo going. So this is the card we're making today. We're going to be using the Beauty of Tomorrow stamp set, and we're going to use these two stamps right here. So to begin this card, we're going to take a piece of Merlot, I think it's Mary Merlot cardstock, and we're going to fold it in half. It is 8.5 by 11 cut in half. And then I fold that in half. So the card front ends up being 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It otherwise would be 5 1/2 by 11, folded in half. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to take our inside piece. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to use our little flower and stamp him in the corner. This is Early Espresso, which is one of the colors in the paper pad. DSP series. Got that nice there in the corner. Flip that up and close him, and then we're just going to take a little bit of our Stampin' Seal in each of the corners to hold him in so that you have a space to write. Hello, there we are. Open him up, pop him in, lining up on all the edges so he has a nice little border. No problem. Then we have a piece of our designer series paper. This one comes from Beauty of the Earth, and it is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. So one of the ways that I wanted to show you how I cut this paper, if I can find it, where did I put him? I don't see him. I guess, oh, here he is. So the big piece of paper looks like this. So whenever I cut it down to card front size, I don't want to cut it at 5 1/2 and then 5 1/2 because that will leave me with this little strip over here. I would rather cut 5 1/2 and then I flip the piece of paper and cut it in at 5 1/2. And then I'm left with this white strip right here, which I will use the green side on the back. So that's how I'm preserving the paper from that interesting piece of paper. So next, we are going to pull in our Whisper White seam binding ribbon. This stuff is so nice to work with. It's just soft and pliable, and it feels great. So I'm going to lay this behind here, and then I'm going to pull it forward so it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to grab myself a glue dot. This is one of our mini glue dots, and I'm going to go ahead and take him off. You will see why in just a second. And then I'm going to pull this guy over here, and I'm going to flip this guy around and pull him through. And then I'm going to take, let's see if I can get him to lay flat. There we go. Then I'm going to take that little glue dot that I just had and slide it down to where I want it to be. Whew, he's complicated today because I'm on camera. Slide him down to where I want him to be. I'm going to take that little glue dot and stick it right under there, and I'm going to put my knot right in it. So it serves sort of as an extra hand as I am making my bow. So now I don't have to worry quite so much about fooling around with that. So I usually like to tie my bow with it still on the ribbon roll, but that's not going to work today because of how I've cut that. So we're going to give myself a little bit of room. Move that over there. We'll take this guy right here, and this guy, wrap him around and come under and through and tie myself a sweet little bow. Now let's fool with him for just a second to get him exactly the way I want him. And voila, he is pretty close to where I want him to be. Okay, then I'm going to trim this end here because that's just a little long. Okay, so that's sweet. We're going to move him aside, and we're going to bring in the Stamparatus, and I have here a piece of paper that measures, let's see, he measures 2 3/4, and did not line him up before I got on camera, but we're going to put him right about there. And whoops, my magnets stuck together whenever I wasn't paying attention. That is a real issue with this. Then I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight ink pad, and I'm going to ink up my sentiment that came from that Beauty of Tomorrow. Now, if you like having fresh ideas delivered to your inbox daily, you want to go ahead and hit subscribe and then hit the little bell for the notifications, and you will get a daily notification that I am posting a new video. Or you could just subscribe, and every time you come to YouTube, you will find my latest video for you to give you some inspiration. And you can always take these techniques and use them on any other card with any other supplies that you already have, but it gives you some great ideas for if you're buying something new or if you are using what you already have. All right, so I have my beautiful sentiment stamped right there. And then I'm going to use this die from the Hippo and Friends die set, and I am going to run him through my die cutting machine, just like that. But through the beauty of magic of television, I've already done that. So he ends up looking just like this. Now I'm going to put it all together. So we're going to put a little adhesive up here. Oops, on my finger apparently. Put a little adhesive up here in the corner, a little piece of over here. A little adhesive down here and a little adhesive over here. So let's see. There we go. And that's just going to hold my ribbon in place and make sure it doesn't shift around anymore. So then I'm going to put him right up here on the front. Push him down, flip this guy over, and I'm going to put some dimensionals at the top and the bottom for him. If you think you like this card or this style of card, please go ahead and hit that like button below, because that sure would help me out. And we have peeled off our last dimensional. We're going to flip him over and put him right about there. Let's move him so that he's evenly placed. Then we're going to take these brushed metallic adhesive back dots that are in the mini catalog currently, and I'm going to take the two of the big ones right here, and I'm going to put one here, and then I'm just going to put another one right about there. And that, my friends, is our beautiful card. So what do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Would you like receiving that card in the mail? Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.